Today we're excited to announce the release of full OBD flashing on the F56 Mini. That includes the Cooper S and the Cooper S JCW at this time. Before this, we would have had to have your ECU physically to open it, to patch it, and then we could have gone via OBD. But now we don't need to do that process. So the Evolve-R can now flash your F56 either in-house at our facility in the UK or anywhere in the world. Today we have an F56 JCW which we're going to do the demonstration on. We'll also do a power on the car stock and a power on with the tune so you can see the difference. And we'll also show you some dyno graphs from the normal Cooper S as well to show you not only the method of tuning, how easy it is, but the actual level of power that we can get from these cars. Now we do have a history of tuning minis. We did a lot of tuning on the R56 of which we owned and we did a lot of development on that. So it was only natural for us to then carry on with the F56. The F56 was in fact a better platform for us to work on because it has a BMW engine now rather than a Peugeot engine. So the gains are a lot better than we were getting from the old Peugeot engine. So yeah, we'll set up the flash on this car and show you how it works. So now we'll show you how to use the Evolve-R cable and software. So you would have downloaded the application onto your Windows-based laptop and it looks like this. We plug in the Evolve-R cable into the OBD port, plug the USB into the laptop, and you can see that the OBD cable is flashing. So we have to make sure all of the auxiliaries are off, so make sure the fan's off, any lights you have. The ignition has to be on. So on BMWs and Minis now you have to push that twice or until the fuel gauge is showing. So you can see the fuel gauge is showing there and the keys have to be in the vehicle at all times. So now we have to connect the software to the car, so click next. Okay, as it's not possible to read the ECU data from the ECU, what we require you to do is take a screenshot of this and send it to us so we can supply you with the correct original file and the tuned version on that original file. So now you've sent us the screenshot of the original ECU data. We've sent you an original file which you can flash in and also a stock file that you can flash in. So now I'm going to show you the flashing procedure. With the Evolve-R application loaded, the OBD plugged into the OBD port and the ignition on with the fuel gauge showing, what you have to do first is read out the ECU coding data. So if you go to diagnostics, read coding data, and then save it in an appropriate place. We can close that and then we can go to the next stage, which is program ECU memory. Now this will program the stage 1 file into the car. So you'll get a progress bar come up. You'll see lots of errors flashing up on the iDrive and on the dash. Don't worry about those, that's completely normal. So this process takes around 6 minutes. Once the bar reaches 100%, the ECU software will tell you that the programming is successful. So now the program is complete. We have to turn the ignition off. So the fuel gauge goes down and we tell the software that the ignition is off by clicking that, and now the timer bar will go backwards and let us know when it's completed. After you've done the ignition off process, the next stage is to write back the coding data that we saved earlier. So to do that, we go to the diagnostic section. Instead of read coding data, we go to write coding data. And then find the file that we made earlier. And that's it. Coding has now been successfully written and the car is ready to start. So what we'll do now is we'll start the car and we'll run it on the dyno and we'll see what power it makes with our stage 1 map. So in stock form, the car made 223 horsepower, and after we flashed the map in, it's making 305. Now this car has no hardware changes, so that's just from the software. This particular car is running 99 RON fuel, which is the equivalent of 93 octane in the US. So as you can see, torque is up from around 275 foot-pounds to a peak of 350, but there are gains of around 75 foot-pounds of torque throughout the majority of the rev range, which is a huge difference. And the horsepower is up almost 80 horsepower. So overall, that's a fantastic result for the JCW. We also have very good stage 1 and stage 2 tuning for the normal Cooper S, which we'll talk you through now. So this is a graph from a typical Cooper S. It's made 214 horsepower standard, and with the stage 1 tuning it's made 293, and you can see there's over 100 foot-pound torque gains in the mid-range. Now we have V-boxed this car, and it did an 18.052 stock 100 to 200 kph, and then after the tune it did 12.1, so that's almost a 6-second difference. 100 to 200 kph is absolutely huge. Remember, that's just with software, with no other changes. So just to recap, we can now do full OBD flashing on the F56, including the Cooper S and the JCW, without ECU removal, because we can do it remotely anywhere in the world with our Evolve-R cable. So just get in touch on either of our websites, evolveautomotive.com for the UK and Europe, and evolvetuning.us for the US. We have the cables in stock and they're ready to go.